Very important young man. Please join me in welcoming Anthony, who wants to share his story with you.
Hi, my name is Anthony. I am 14 years old. When I was a foster youth, I had a CASA named Daniel, who has continued to mentor me even now that I am out of foster care. When I first heard about the CASA, I thought it was just going to be someone that was asking me a ton of questions and one more thing to keep me away from my friends. But my voice wasn't being heard at all in my case, and nobody bothered to find out how I felt and what I wanted. All of the adults had an agenda, and they told the judge the things that they wanted in court. And they didn't let me go to court either. And my therapist and my grandma and aunt weren't fighting to get me, so I was really hurt. It was a very emotional time, and I was scared I would be cut off from my family and the life that I knew. I was confused and didn't know who to trust. Finally, I got a CASA named Daniel. He was really nice, and he didn't question me about my case. He took me fishing, kayaking, to the basketball courts, and we went on a lot of fun outings together. In fact, I've experienced a lot of new activities because of him. While we had fun, the most important element that he brought to my case was that he asked me what I felt and what I listened, and he listened. He also observed a lot and made his own determination without listening to others. As I started sharing my feelings with him, I realized that I could trust him and he wasn't a puppet for anyone in the case. He really was there only for me. He gave an unbiased report to the judge, and because of that, I was able to leave the foster family and move in with my grandma and aunt. I then found out how hard they had fought for me, and I continued to share things with him that I couldn't share with anyone else. I can't tell you how much I needed that. Now, my grandma and aunt are my guardians, and I rebonded with my dad, and we are developing a healthy relationship. I'm getting good grades and playing on a basketball team. I received a scholarship for college and was appointed to the San Diego Youth Commission. I feel like my life is good and stable, and I am much more confident now. The knowledge that I had a voice was a life changer to me. Until that point, I felt that I had no control over my own life. CASA Daniel was my voice in court when I wasn't able to speak. It took me a long time to get a CASA. I was an emotional wreck during that time. When the system takes a child out of their home, they send them to Polinsky. That is a scary place. All of a sudden, my world was turned upside down, and I had a bunch of people asking me questions, telling me what to say and what to think, and telling me horrible things about the people that I loved. While I once had friends, PlayStation, and basketball, I now had attorneys, social workers, therapists, and supervisors watching my visits and listening to my phone calls. It gets terribly overwhelming. It is hard to determine who really cares about you or who to trust. Sometimes I just wanted to go back to the life that I had before, even though that wasn't that great either. Having Daniel there for me was so important. I think every foster youth should have a CASA like him, so that they have someone to be that voice for him. My life would have been so much different without my CASA listening to me and speaking up for me. I hope that soon all the foster kids like me can have a CASA. Thank you. This is my CASA Daniel.